Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about it. And in this video, I want to share a conversation I had with Christopher Wight from the Law Society. If you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It helps my channel grow and get my story out to the masses. I had a conversation recently with Christopher Wight from the Law Society, who is a team manager leading investigators and forensic auditors dealing with complaints. Simply, I was trying to get an explanation to why his colleague, Ari Cashin, sat on a complaint for 3 years, nearly 3 years, and did not answer to the $160,000 fraudulent bill, nor did he answer to Ekpenyong lying to several judges, including Deputy Familia, where he blatantly lied to that judge and told him I refused to show up when I provided emails that this lawyer was just straight up lying. It's pretty disturbing when you simplify and summarize your complaint and it is handed to a senior forensic fraud investigator and they do nothing about it. But I think what's even worse is that that complaint that Ari Cashin completed, it gets sent to the team manager, who is Christopher Wight. Christopher Wight approved that complaint and approved Ari Cashin's decision for not doing anything and just giving him a verbal warning. So Christopher Wight, he is a certified fraud examiner, and yet he refused to speak about any of the fraud in our phone call. So Christopher Wight is a senior compliance and investigator leader at the Law Society of Ontario. He oversees complex audits and enforces operations, ensuring lawyers and paralegals in Ontario adhere to the ethical and professional standards. So he did not do that in this complaint, and neither did Ari. Because if you guys look at the complaints that the Law Society handles and the poor ethical and professional conduct of lawyers, then this would have been a perfect example to do something about. So this is a problem when you have lawyers handling complaints against lawyers. They don't work. When you have individuals in a society like the Law Society handling complaints against lawyers who pay for and contribute to the Law Society, it's kind of a pattern of broken, biased, and at times corrupted handlings, especially in my case. I was simply asking for an explanation for Christopher Wight. How did the Law Society fail to acknowledge a lawyer who showed blatant disregard for the rules that he takes under oath that he's going to abide by? This lawyer admitted to submitting a fraudulent bill to the Superior Court, yet nobody wants to talk about it. And another thing I noticed too, the Law Society is situated one of their locations at 393 University Avenue, Suite 515. Well, Jon David Ekpenyong is also in that same building in one of those cubicles or small offices up on Suite 2000, where it's, I guess it's small offices that are rented out. And, so I'm pretty disappointed in the Law Society for just sitting on my complaint for 3 years, doing nothing about it. And it just shows a pattern of how broken and biased the Law Society is handling complaints. And they strive to look out for the public's interests. Well, if you look at this complaint, my example, they clearly don't. They're protecting a lawyer who should have his license suspended and fined. But they don't want to do that because this will reflect so poorly on the Law Society. But I think it's going to reflect even more poorly that the fact that the Law Society is protecting a lawyer who's conducting himself in a manner that the Law Society prides himself to not behaving. So here's a phone call with me and Christopher Wight, simply trying to get an explanation why two senior fraud investigators failed to properly investigate and audit my complaint. So thank you guys for watching. This is another video from Let's Talk About It, and this is my conversation with Christopher Wight from the Law Society. So let's begin. I appreciate you calling me back because it is very frustrating to go back and forth with an email. Now, I'm just wondering, did you block me from filing any further complaints?
No, I have
Okay.
not.
Okay, because, and again, thank you for calling me back. I do appreciate it. Um, like, you dismissed a new complaint against Ekpenyong when it's all new information that hasn't been addressed. And I don't know why you would do that.
I there really isn't any more information I can give you than what I've explained in the portal messages.
I've read the message
But
and it has
the
like contradictive to what my complaint was to what your response was. It is not existing information. For an example, Ekpenyong is refusing to provide his insurance information. Second, Ekpenyong has admitted he has submitted a fraudulent bill of $160,000 where his client admitted to $7,000. This was in my complaint with your senior forensic accountant, Ari Cashton, who sat on a complaint for 3 years, and then when finally had the courage to complete his investigation, he did not comment on that fraudulent bill. So, and now Ekpenyong, this is the thing too. I owe money for a court order. Ekpenyong is abusing his powers and he's refusing to let me make payments. He has four of my bank accounts frozen, and he he won't stop. And now he's admitted to hiring a private investigator to follow me around and stalking me. I am like scared to step out of my apartment. I don't know what to do anymore. And you know what? I put my trust in the Law Society that you guys collectively would handle my complaint in a non-biased manner. And when I get the response I got from Ari, who didn't answer to lying to judges and submitting fraudulent bills, that is very concerning considering you are the manager, you're reporting manager, and you have not commented on that as well. So I don't know what to do anymore.
so first of all, first of all, I can't provide you any legal advice.
I don't want a
That
legal
I
advice. I want a
so
simple explanation to why the
well.
Law Society is failing to properly handle complaints.
Second, if you believe there's a threat to your safety,
I've already
then
gone to the police.
the
They
your
refuse to do anything.
okay.
This is a lawyer who's abusing his powers. This guy, and this is why I sent a new complaint. And I don't even think you read the complaint and read what I previously sent because it's all new information.
Respectfully, the information that you've provided relates to a court order. And I know you keep talking about a bill, but you are not Mr. Ekpenyong's client.
It doesn't matter if
Mr.
this is
Ekpen,
brought into
no,
the
it
law.
actually does. It is very,
Listen, if a
it,
lawyer has submitted a fraudulent bill to the courts and then you assign a senior forensic accountant who specializes in fraud, who doesn't address it, that is not only concerning to me, but to the public.
respectfully, Mr. Dobson, I believe you are mistaken. The and this is what I have mentioned repeatedly in my communications. You are not Mr. Ekpenyong's client. He does not provide you a bill. Mr. Ekpenyong provided a bill of costs, which is a separate document, a bill of costs to the court. It is up to the judge to award costs. That is within the purview of the judiciary and not the Law Society.
Do I not have
And
the right
any
to
concern,
Mhm. Yeah.
any concerns you have with what occurred before the judge, you need to deal with through the civil court process. And
No,
that is why I kept
no, it doesn't
referring you
work.
to
It
any
doesn't work. It does not work. Do I not have if look, if it's simple, okay? There's code of conduct, there's code of ethics. This lawyer did not abide by them. This lawyer lied to a judge. The judge discriminated against me and ordered court cost. 72 days later after this court order, he starts a garnishment application with no communication. Ever since then, I have lost all my jobs. I have lost everything. I am trying to make payments. He is refusing to accept payments. This all stems from a fraudulent bill of costs. Whether or not a judge approved it or not, I'm calling bullshit, and I'm asking for an assessment because this is going to put me homeless over a fraudulent bill. So with this information being brought into the Law Society, you guys have completely ducked and dodged this allegations. I am being ordered to pay money that was never paid. This is not proper. Like this is not what lawyers learn in law school. This is a big no-no and frowned upon the Law Society. Like, I'm going to lose everything because of this fraudulent bill. That's fine. You guys want to rob me? At least let me make payments. He won't even let me do that. The Law Society should step in and help me.
As I have said repeatedly, this is an issue for the courts, and you are a you are a party acting in opposition to Mr. Ekpenyong,
Fraud is
and
fraud. Doesn't matter. Fraud is fraud, and you are condoning it, Mr. White. Okay, you are condoning it and you are turning a blind eye to serious allegations. And not only that, he is harassing me non-stop. I sent you the emails and now he's admitted to stalking me. He's hired a private investigator to follow me around for what? He won't accept payment plans. There's no need for a private investigator. Fraud is fraud.
so what you're commenting on, number one, if you're alleging harassment and stalking, those are both criminal issues that I would recommend you need to speak to your local police service about.
I already
That
have.
is
They're
not
fully
that is
aware and they're
not
not doing
within.
anything. You know what they're saying? They're saying it's civil because nobody wants to do anything. The Law Society, the police, the judges, and the prosecutors collectively refuse to step in and be impartial and help me. Now we're talking about violations within the Law Society. Doesn't matter if this is not my lawyer or not. I'm a party against this lawyer. He has committed fraud. And that's why I have this phone call recorded because I'm doing a story on my interactions with the Law Society. And all I'm simply asking is to please to make an assessment on what this lawyer's client actually paid. You can't say I have it on an audio recording that I've sent to you. And if
Dobson,
he's yeah,
we cannot, and I've said this repeatedly
why?
to you, we cannot go behind a judicial court order. That
I'm
is
not
not
asking you
within the
to.
purview.
Well,
No, respectfully, Mr. Dobson, that is actually exactly what you're asking the Law Society to do here. And that is inappropriate for us.
but
So, which
if
is
it's
why you
black and
keep
white,
being referred. No, Mr. Dobson, you keep being referred to the proper avenue, which is to address this before the courts.
I already have, and
The
they're
Law
not doing
Society
anything.
cannot assist you in this.
He should not
This is
be.
something that is not in the purview of the Law
Well,
Society.
why is it this? Why is it that I provide court documents and emails where this lawyer straight up lied to a deputy judge in court? Ari doesn't answer to that. I provided the affidavit of the 7 grand they admitted, and then I provide the fraudulent bill of $160,000 that Ari did not answer to. Why is that? That makes me very suspicious of the honesty and the integrity from the Law Society because clearly they don't work. And this is a major issue with the public and the Law Society. Statistically, you guys are dismissing complaints to avoid litigation, to avoid lawyers not getting insurance. You want to keep your numbers up and you want to keep the money rolling in with their annual membership fees. That's all this is. This is why you can't have lawyers handling complaints against lawyers because this is the problem. This is a major, this is a disgraced lawyer that you are part of protecting because you refuse to say, "Hey, you lied to a court. This is brought into our attention. We have an individual who is a contributing member to society, paying taxes. You annihilated him. You are harassing him, and you refuse to accept a payment plan. How much did your client actually pay? That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking you to go over a judge's order, nothing. Like, I should have just as much as anyone else. I should have be allowed to ask for this request. I already know he's got many complaints against him. I've already actually talked to somebody who's already handling a complaint. And you guys have, it's like black and white how you're handling my complaint versus this lady's. And this is not right, Chris.
Unfortunately, Mr. Dobson, there is no more information that I can give you other
Okay.
than to continually repeat
Right.
what I have advised you a
No.
number of times through my messages, that we have dealt with this issue, we have
No,
dealt
you
with this
have
complaint
not. You have
in
not dealt with it. You dismissed it and
res-
you did
res-
not deal with it.
respectfully, Mr. Dobson. That is your opinion, and I
What do you
respect
mean
your
that's my
opinion.
opinion? If you look at my original complaint and the additional information I provided about lying to a judge and about submitting a fraudulent document, there's nothing in that in Ari's um his findings. And now I gotta wait 7, 8 months to appeal this. This is not right. This is not right, Chris. You are protecting a lawyer who's committed serious fraud, who is harassing me. All I'm trying to do is make payments, have my bank. If I had kids or a mortgage, I would lose everything. Like you're protecting someone who's seriously abusing their license as a lawyer, and you're refusing to simply do a financial assessment because you know if you do this, what's going to happen is I have to sue this lawyer, and I need to prove that he lied. And the Law Society is simply refusing to respect my request for a financial assessment. You shouldn't be sending a bill of $160,000 if your client never sent it. And that's what I said in my original complaint that Ari ignored. This is a lawyer who has been caught red-handed abusing his license. And now that it's brought into your attention, you are aiding and protecting this lawyer, and you are aiding and protecting Ari Cashton's delusional and disrespectful response. And that's why I'm doing a story on this, and that's why this phone call is going to be public, to show how you refuse to simply do an assessment so I can prove this lawyer lied before I am homeless. And you're going to be part of this. And then that's the next thing. How do I get the Law Society involved in this civil litigation? Because you, one of the top dogs, refused to take on a simple request of a financial assessment for bills that were never paid and hours that were never worked. You are protecting a
So
lawyer who's abusing
I
his
will.
license.
So I'm gonna repeat what I had said at the very beginning. Is the You are not Mr. Ekpenyong's client. What Mr. Ekpenyong may or may not have billed to his client, and what he has claimed as a bill of costs before the court, are two separate and very distinct issues.
No, this is
They
a lawyer who's
do
abused
so,
broken the laws with the Law
Mr. Dobson.
Society. But this is a lawyer who's broken many laws with the Law Society, and you have ignored those complaints, and you are allowing this lawyer to get away with it. You have not disciplined
Okay,
this lawyer. You dismissed this complaint.
the we did not dismiss it. It was
It is
closed with regulatory guidance, sir.
no. You dismissed it. It's closed. It's the same thing. You did not. You closed it. So what does that mean? That nothing. It means nothing. This lawyer needs a I This is the other thing. I've asked for this lawyer's insurance information. He's refusing to provide it. Doesn't Isn't it by law he has to provide it upon request?
No.
Oh no, eh?
Professional liability insurance And again, I'm not giving you any advice,
I don't
but
need legal advice.
there is no requirement within the rules or within the Law Society bylaws that would require a licensee to provide a third party their professional liability insurance. If
So
you
what?
would like
Okay.
to pursue a licensee civilly, then that's a different issue. And I would strongly, strongly recommend you seek legal advice about any civil options you may have available to you.
Oh, I already
That's
have.
where I've given you the link to the Law Society Referral Service. I cannot give you any sort of legal advice
I'm not
whatsoever.
asking for it. The thing too is I submitted a new complaint against completely different information that you dismissed, assuming it's already been addressed, and it hasn't.
Mr. Dobson, we're going around in circles
We're
here.
not. Well, we are because
I have
you are. Yeah, we are because of you, because you don't want to answer to the questions I've brought into your attention.
given you an answer. I know
Mhm.
you don't like the answer, and I respect that,
No, you
but
don't. You don't respect
that
anything
is
I'm
the
saying because you
answer.
would help me. Like as a true impartial person, all you're doing is protecting a lawyer who's been caught red-handed abusing his license, and you're continuing to give him a platform to get away with it. And this is the problems within the Law Society. Even with your previous CEO, with people like Ari Cashin, there's too many issues, and there's already been statistics about how complaints are handled. And this is just, you know, um, I'll tell you right now, I'm almost convinced Jon David Ekpenyong cheated on it to get his license. His education, his credentials are nowhere to be found. He got his license in 2016. If I were to guess, he paid for the answers in Africa to get his license, and then when he came to Canada, he paid someone for the answers. Do you know I got dragged through family court on a restraining order for 3 years that was never signed? I was forced to go to a trial where the trial schedule endorsement form was never filled out, served, and filed. Do you know, like, it's insane what this lawyer has gotten away with. And now I'm transitioning my life from a licensed electrician to being a full-time reporter and reporting these events in my life. And it's people like you and Ari Kashtan who are putting up these barriers and protecting lawyers who are caught red-handed lying, committing fraud, committing perjury, and abusing their license. And why don't you just do the right thing and like lower those barriers and do a fair, uh, like Ari sat on that. The Law Society sat on my complaint for 3 years. For 3 years. And then when you guys finally had the courage to address it, you didn't answer to the main issues that I brought up. And the public's going to know about this. They already know about it. I've already launched a few stories and collaborated with other people. And all I'm asking you, Chris, is just to do the right thing and to do an assessment. Do a financial assessment, please, on that Mr. Ekpenyong. Please do that for me so I can prove once and for all that he lied. He submitted a fraudulent bill of cost that his client never paid and hours were never worked. You know what he charged? You know what he charged? He charged $20,000 for 5 affidavits in his bill of cost. And Ari never even questioned that. That is absolutely bullshit. A lawyer is going to be
I
so ignorant.
remind you, I remind you that that was issued under a court order,
No, it
and
wasn't.
the
He
Law
said,
Society
come on,
cannot
come on. A lawyer
go
should not be,
behind a
is
court
not going behind
order.
anyone's back. You should know better that no lawyer would ever their client would pay $20,000 for 5 affidavits, all two to 5 pages each. Come on, Chris. This is the problem. Like, you're refusing to do, as the complaints manager, you are refusing to help me.
Mr. Dobson, I've already given you your options,
Okay.
and I have advised you that this is a civil issue
Yeah.
that is under the purview and the jurisdiction of the courts.
This should be
Unfortunately, there is nothing further I can assist you with.
I just hope one day a class action lawsuit comes against the Law Society and everyone, including yourself, will be held accountable and all these situations will come to light. Because this is an absolute disgrace, what you are a part of, what you're allowing to happen. That's all. Like, it's just, I'm going to lose everything because of this unhinged, psychotic lawyer who is playing all these games, who refuses. That's fine. You want to submit a fraudulent bill of $160,000? A judge orders me to pay 60? At least let me make payments. This guy is demanding all the money one shot. I don't have it. I'm going to be claiming bankruptcy soon because of this lawyer. And this is brought, like, if this was you, like, you know what I mean? You just don't care. Like, all I'm asking is do a financial assessment. So when I do bring a civil lawsuit, I can say, hey, look, but you don't want to do that. You want to protect him. And that's another reason why I'm recording this phone call, because you were aiding and abetting and protecting this lawyer. And you simply just won't respect my request for a financial assessment. You cannot lie to judges and lie to the Law Society and get away with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like this conversation isn't being productive.
No, it's not, because you're not doing anything.
Provided you repeatedly what your options are, what we can and cannot assist with.
So you cannot assist with the
so
financial
these issues,
assessment? Chris, sorry, you cannot assist with
I've already responded to that.
Can I just, well, you haven't.
Times.
No, you haven't. Why can't you? Why can't you?
Respectfully, sir, I have. And I continually to tell you that the Law Society cannot go behind a court order. Your options are to address this through the court process.
So by me asking you to do a financial assessment on Mr. Ekpenyong's bills, that's going against the court order?
Because the only matter that you are involved in is this court order for costs against you. Mr. Ekpenyong is not your client.
So, like I said,
not delivered any fee bills to you for legal services.
No, but it's affected me.
And even if he did, the assessment process is through the courts. That is a court assessment process. The Law Society does not have that jurisdiction, which is why I continually refer you to your civil options.
The Law Society does not. They cannot assess. You're telling me, like, when I look at Ari Cashin's job description, he is a fraud specialist for the Law Society. So you're telling me that the Law Society doesn't have jurisdiction over doing financial assessments over fraudulent activity? Even if I was a client.
Mr. Dobson, there is a specific section on the Law Society website about complaints about legal fees. And it goes through that if you have an issue with the fees that were charged by your lawyer or paralegal, what the process is, because being a lawyer or paralegal, they are two different processes. But for a lawyer, it is an assessment before the superior court. That is a formal process. Now, again, in this situation, you are not Mr. Ekpenyong's client.
I shouldn't have to be his client for the Law Society to investigate fraud. Like, this is what I mean. You're completely, you know what I mean? Like, you can't even just answer that, because if I investigate, the Law Society does have jurisdiction for lawyers who submit fraudulent bills of cost, whether or not they're a client or not, because this has affected me. His fraudulent bill of cost that his client never paid, he's got an affidavit admitting his client paid a $7,000 block fee. I have a recorded conversation with him that he admitted that his client paid $7,000 and did not pay $160,000. Why is that enough? Why
Yes,
is that not enough
that
for
is
you
that
and
is
your colleagues to investigate?
that is that is not abnormal. As I said to you earlier in this conversation, the amount that a licensee may charge their client is not always the same as what they may list in a bill of costs.
So that's lying. So they're
That
misleading.
for
They're misleading then. You're just saying it, and it's normal. Yeah, lawyers lie. Lawyers lie, and they
No,
fluff
Mr.
up their
Dobson,
bills.
Mr. Dobson, that's not what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm
And it does sound
interpreting what
like
you're
this.
saying.
Well, then you are welcome to misinterpret what I'm saying, but you need to
Misinterpretate what you're
understand that
saying.
that's not what I'm saying.
Why are you
So
allowing Ekpenyong?
it does sound like this conversation is no longer being productive. So
Because you don't want to help me.
there's
You want to protect a lawyer who's gotten away with fraud. You want to protect a lawyer who is abusing his license, who is refusing to accept money for a fraudulent bill, has 4 of my bank accounts frozen, and because of this disgraceful conduct, I'm going to be pretty much homeless and bankrupt soon. And I'm begging
and
and
if
pleading to help, ask you to help me, and you're refusing to do that.
I have said to you multiple
Hmm.
times,
Yeah.
this is a civil issue before the courts.
This is
You
not a
need to
civil
address it before the
issue.
courts.
This is misconducts and complaints about a lawyer that the Law Society refuses to address. Yeah. This is why wanted to record this conversation too, so we can let the public be the
Well, there,
judge.
there, there's nothing that I've said to you here that I haven't already conveyed to you in
Right.
my multiple messages,
Yeah.
and so unfortunately, there's nothing
I'm
further that I can do, sir.
I'm filing a new complaint against Ekpenyong. I'd appreciate if you don't let it sit there for 3 weeks and then I have to send you an email for someone to answer to it. It's going to be completely new information. So is that going
And
to
it
be an
will be
issue?
assessed in the same course, and if it is in the same stream, it will be addressed in the same way.
I'm going to include the fraudulent bill of cost that Ari did not answer to. So technically, that is going to be
And
new
that issue has
information.
already been addressed. No, it is
Has it
not,
been
sir.
addressed? Has it been
That
addressed?
issue has already been
Can we
addressed
go
because you have
over?
been advised. You
Okay.
have been advised that this is a civil issue in front of the purview of the courts,
Hmm.
and that you may wish to speak to any.
Hmm. Yeah.
You might wish to speak to counsel, determine
Hmm.
what, if any,
Well,
appeal rights you may have.
this is why we need a class action lawsuit against the Law Society. I just see what it's just confirmed, just really how you guys operate. So I think that's all. I have nothing else to say to you. So you since you don't want to offer basic assistance, pretty
Okay.
frustrated. Yeah.
All right. Take care,
Yeah.
sir.
Thanks.
Bye for now.